Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to completely dismantle the myth that massive success is just based on raw talent or blind luck. The reality, winning usually comes down to dramatic shifts in perspective. We're going to break down exactly why the same people just keep winning over and over again, right in front of us, while the rest of the world watches and assumes they just got a lucky roll of the dice. You can actually change your entire trajectory in a matter of weeks once this clicks for you, because it's not luck at all. It's a system, and we're going to unpack that whole system today, starting with a pretty devastatingly relatable story.
Picture this. A 13-year-old kid is sitting at the state chess nationals. It is the biggest stage they have ever been on, and they are facing 4 consecutive, crushing, clean losses. And I don't mean close games where one tiny mistake cost them the win. No, these were complete dismantlements. Every move felt wrong. Every single decision felt late. Imagine just sitting there at the board, staring at the pieces after that 4th loss, and having that heavy, sinking realization, man, I should not even be here. That moment of total defeat, that's exactly where most people quit. But actually, that is exactly where the real game begins.
So let's really dive into this. The actual reason those same people keep winning, it isn't unpredictable talent or blind luck. It's a clear, repeatable system, a methodology that you can literally learn and apply in weeks. See, when that 13-year-old was sitting there feeling completely defeated, their coach didn't just pat them on the back and offer some empty platitude about talent or say, hey, better luck next time. No, he introduced a system that completely shifted the paradigm.
Which brings us to step 1, pattern recognition.
Instead of giving empty advice after those 4 agonizing losses, the coach brings over this massive stack of score sheets to study past games. And doing this, it revealed pure signal within all that noise. Opponent A always played these really aggressive openings but totally collapsed in the endgame. Opponent B rushed decisions and completely panicked under time pressure. And Opponent C, well, they just repeated the exact same structural setup every single game without fail. This proved their moves weren't random at all. They were deeply predictable flaws. And hey, this isn't just about chess. You see this absolutely everywhere. Certain types of content keep getting attention. Certain methods keep working in business. Most things that blow up don't start as secrets, they start as patterns. See early, move anyway. Once you spot the pattern, you hit the biggest hurdle. And this right here is where most people completely lose the plot. They see the pattern, sure, but they hesitate. They wait to feel ready. They wait to be good enough. Or they wait for confirmation from the crowd that it's actually going to work. And by the time they finally decide to make a move, the space is already way too crowded. But true intelligence in any field is about moving messy and moving early. I mean, when you've already lost 4 games, you don't have the luxury of perfection. You just move. And suddenly, by moving early on the patterns you see, you are no longer reacting to the world. You are expecting it.
Now, let's look at step 2, leverage over effort.
Effort does not scale. Position does. Think about that for a second. The crucial point here is absolutely simple, but so profound. Back to our chess story. That 13-year-old was no longer trying to just play better in a vacuum. They were playing smarter. By intentionally steering opponents into weak positions, like forcing an endgame against the player who always collapses late, or speeding up the tempo against the player who panics under time pressure, the kid got a completely different outcome with the exact same board and the exact same pieces. That, right there, is the very definition of leverage.
And this brilliantly illustrates how this concept applies literally everywhere. Let's take content creation, for example. You've got creator A, right? They just work super hard, upload a video, and hope for the best. But creator B uses leverage. They study what people click, what holds retention, and how to frame the narrative. They tweak the first few seconds of their content, building entirely around attention psychology, instead of just blindly grinding away. They're actively choosing where to play and what angle gives them the highest upside. It is the exact same effort, but drastically different results.
You see the exact same leverage in academics or, even in the gym. Take a look at student A. They read the textbook cover to cover, repeating information, burning massive amounts of effort. Then there's student B. They analyze past papers, they understand exactly how questions are formulated, and they figure out exactly where the marks actually come from. Same intense effort, wildly different results. Why? Because one person actually understands the game theory behind the environment they're in.
All right, step 3, speed and optimism.
To truly earn clarity, you have to move fast. Notice how this timeline just violently separates the winners from the dreamers. While one person in week 1 is just thinking about it, the other is already out there gathering data from messy execution. Fast forward to month 1, and the dreamer is still preparing, still waiting for that absolute perfect moment. Meanwhile, our operator is building real momentum. By month 3, the first person is stalling out from analysis paralysis and the other is pulling far ahead armed with actual hard-won experience. Speed is the ultimate filter.
But inevitably, even when you're moving fast, you're going to hit a phase where nothing seems to work. You're failing, you're unsure, and the results just haven't materialized yet. This is exactly where almost everyone stops. When you hit that wall, I want you to remember the unforgettable advice that coach gave to the struggling 13-year-old. The kid asked, "What if this still doesn't work?" And the coach simply replied, "If you keep seeing what others miss, the results will have no choice but to follow."
We call this delusional optimism. Now, it's not about blind hope, okay? It's about trusting the process long enough for it to actually make sense. It's about staying in the game long enough for invisible, specific knowledge to form. When you do this, you start seeing those patterns faster, you trust your gut more, you completely stop copying what others are doing, and you start truly operating. You develop these lightning-fast instincts that make your skills entirely, uniquely your own.
So, the ultimate takeaway? Stop competing and start operating. When you pull all of these pieces together, it undeniably transforms your entire approach. This is your ultimate, repeatable playbook. Step 1. Pattern recognition shows you the opening. Step 2. Game theory gives you the unfair advantage, allowing you to maximize your position. And Step 3. Speed compounds your attempts, while optimism keeps you in the game long enough for that specific knowledge to secure the victory. This isn't just working hard. This is intelligence with leverage. Look, most people out there are still just trying harder. A select few are figuring out how to see earlier. But the ones who learn to do both, they stop competing with people who don't even see the board they're playing on. So I want to leave you with this one final critical question to ask yourself today. Really think about it. Are you just trying harder, or are you seeing earlier?